Chino Dollar in the building, live on the Pun Intended podcast, doing this interview. What up, Chino?
What's happening, Bishop?
Man, it's a lot. Like, you like a urban legend when it comes to Atlanta, man. Like, a lot of people heard the name, but they never saw the face.
Yeah. I came from an era of stay out the way.
Right. I can dig that. So, what part of Atlanta are you from?
From East Atlanta. From East Atlanta, from Atlanta and Athens, Georgia. My grandmother stayed in Athens, so I moved there when I was like 6 months. So I was back and forth my whole life, so.
Okay. What schools did you go to?
Shit, I drove. I went to school about the 10th grade. So I went to school in Athens, see the shows, and here I went to Lithonia. And then, I wasn't with it. I wasn't no dummy about it. So when I left school, I had a lot of family issues going on. Like my grandmother passed, my aunt who was, primarily like the caregiver for me, she got sick. So it was like I had to get out and get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, that's when I enrolled at Lithonia, and I was like, I can't do this school shit. So I ended up getting my GED, and maybe like 2 years later, I went off to West Georgia. I went to college. I went there for a year. Intended to go, for business management. When I got there, I realized, like, these motherfuckers is bigger junkies than what I just came from. And, that triggered me to indulge in shit I knew about. So I stayed in school about a year. I came back home, opened a wing stand on Candler Road, and it was up from that point,
So do you have any siblings?
Nah, I'm my mama's only child, but my dad had other kids.
Okay. So how many other kids do your father have?
He had 3 other kids. I just lost my little brother in June. He got killed in June. So, that leave 2 other, a sister and a brother down in Florida.
So how was your relationship? Did you have a relationship with your other siblings?
Well, growing up, I really didn't. It was like I say, I ended up going down to Athens, mostly school years, coming back in the summer, and I was back and forth so much that I didn't really get acquainted to my sister, she the oldest, until I was probably about 16. And, that distance, her and my other brother got the same mom. So it was a lot of distance. They were down in Florida. But my little brother, when I was about 17 and we got acquainted, I took him under my arm. That was my little brother, And he was around here. So me and him, we bonded instantly, you know what I mean? And, over the years, we developed a real big brother, little brother relationship,
So what was your relationship like with your mother and your father? Like, how long was your father in the household?
Oh, no, my dad was never in the household. That's how I ended up being, my mother was in college. So when I was 6 months, we moved my grandmother. My grandmother kept me, and my mama came back to college. So she ended up finishing school, left me with my grandmother. My daddy, he was in school. He ended up going into the military. He was on about his business, you know what I mean? But he would tune in, the regular dad ain't there shit. He'll tune in birthdays, Christmas, holidays, summertime, get a little time in with him, and he gone with his life, you know what I mean? But it ain't like, as I got older, I understood what he was going through.
Right.
But as a youngster, I didn't understand. It was like, shit, where my dad at?
Right.
But with my mama always been there. Honestly, I had 3 mamas. Because my mom got a twin. So They lived together, you know what I mean? So that was my other mama. Then my mama oldest sister didn't have any, and then none of them had no kids. My mama twin, my mama older sister didn't have no kids, and all of them lived together. So I was the only child with 3 mamas.
I know
you know what I'm saying?
I know you probably had every video game that came out.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to my auntie, man. She bought me everything. I'm talking about, that was part of the problem that, my biological mama tell me how I end up in the streets because they bought me everything from, video game, Nintendo, Segas, anything came out, go-kart, four-wheeler, motorcycles. Then I had two uncles. They didn't have no boys. They had girls. One of them had one girl. Everybody thought she was my sister, but she was my first cousin because both my uncles, they treated me like their son. So it was like, any boy shit, I'm getting it. So when I hit about 12, 14, my grandmama had sick, shit happened. And I was accustomed to having stuff.
Right.
And being, when you used to having something, you can't get it no more, you looking like, shit, what I got to do to make this shit happen? And I wasn't in a situation, people be like, oh, you could have got a job, this and this and this. To get a job as a teen, you got to be able to get back and forth to work.
So you never had a real job?
Nah, I ain't never had a real job.
Wow.
Nah.
Sound like myself.
Yeah, I mean, it was a point in time when you walk out our front door. I don't care if I was in Athens, the street we stayed on, they called our area. We had a spot called a Hubba Hole. My family. That was. It went on in the Hubba Hole. You know what I mean? Like we created millionaires out of there. And me being me, I'm in the city. I can come bust my moves and go to the country. My price,
it's going up.
Yeah, it's going up. And I'm here. My uncle's here. They already plugged. Like I know everything about who got what, who got when they got it. And I'm young, so I was able to touch whatever I wanted to touch, and I didn't have to fuck with niggas in the city. Like I never hustled in the city. Like the one time I did hustle in the city, nigga set me up. He get caught with 2 ounces of weed. This nigga go up and down County Road, setting niggas up for bricks and four ways and 200 babies and all kind of shit. Nigga set me up with some white and got my restaurant bang, over 2 ounces of weed. So that's why I didn't hustle in the city. Another player, nigga put the pistol to my head. One of my own personal partners. We grew up together, County Road. He from stayed in the apartment down the street. Nigga on that south, blanked out one night. I go over to Lion Street. We over there, boom. Nigga put the strap to my head. I think the nigga playing, because this my personal. I looked down the barrel of that 45 and I seen that look in the eye. He was geeked up. I say, hey, bro, we better than this, boy. I just gave him the little 400 baby. I'm like, here, man. And that registered to me why I was going outside of my rules. Right. I never hustled in the city because shit a lot different than down the road. I don't have to see nobody with my kinfolk. I pull up on them. I lead the shit. I don't need the money. I get it later. It was a different play for me. So niggas in the city never really knew what y'all to do. All they know, I'm pulling up. I don't care what year it was. I'm 16. I'm pulling up. I got the Cutlass, candy blue, all gold, center D, 50 series Vogue, white interior, white top. I'm shutting shit down. They like, man, what the fuck this little nigga do?
So that's basically you had everything. You had the whole rapper kit.
Man, listen, I started a rapper kit on a lot of these niggas. I remember I was at Daytona. They used to do spring break. We pull up, boom, I'm in the 500S, then with the 20-inch Momo. Lil Wayne and Juvie walking up the street. Them niggas see the car, they like, now they rapping about the shit.
Right.
They see, they like, whoa. Jump out, holler at them. That's how I end up getting cool with some niggas in Cash Money. Killer Stone, rest in peace.
Right, rest in peace, Stone. I got to meet Stone before.
Yeah, I end up, because them niggas seen me jumping out. They like, yeah, you need to come to the hotel, fuck with us. We stand up at the Ramada. They was up at a hotel where the shit used to go down at the back of the beach.
Right.
I'm like, man, I'm going to go see what these niggas talking about. Go up there, Birdman, all of them. They just, these niggas 100 deep, like back then. Tour bus out front, and I think they were like still, it was like 99 or something.
Yeah, this is before they even all the way popped.
Yeah, this was like 99. And it was like, niggas were like, it's gonna be certain niggas, when you go around people, y'all gonna link. Y'all gonna click like. Stone was one of them guys, man. Stone was, but now in time, later after meeting Stone and we grew up, I figured out what it was. It was a hustler, Yeah,
Stone, I did business with Stone before.
Yeah.
Like when they came to the A, I did some promo and stuff for them.
Stone was
D-Boys.
Yeah.
Him and Lack.
Yeah. So that was my whole thing. I never kind of how people say, don't sit where you lay at.
Right.
I just was privileged enough to have a whole nother market where I could handle my business. So it kept niggas really out my business.
So what originally got you into the music business? Like, what was your entry into the business? What was the first artist, or what made you want to get into it?
Man, my music business career, I tell people, started way before I knew I was in the music business. My mama was one of those. I was young. I mean, she was young when she had me, so she was into the music.
Right.
I grew up in the church playing the drums in the church. She was the choir director.
You know how to play the drums?
Yeah.
Didn't know that?
Yeah, and that led me to playing the saxophone, the cello, the stand-up bass. I was making music because my cousins, my boy cousins, they could sing.
Right.
And they could play the drum, they could play the piano, like we were just musical. His mom and them was in they had a gospel group. And then my other cousin, his dad and them, the Walker Brothers, was a gospel group. And we started our own singing group. Way back, man, we was young. We used to go door to door, knocking on the doors, singing, asking people to give us some change.
Right.
You know, and at the time, I couldn't sing, but I could do the rapping and the managing. And my mama used to drive us barbershop to barbershop and let us out the car. Go in there and see what y'all can get. And my cousin, I had one cousin, that nigga sang like Casey and JoJo. Like, we did well as teens coming up, you know, singing. And, of course, when I hit the streets, all that shit went out the door. It was like, cuz, I wish y'all luck. You know?
So basically, you was already doing music, but you just happened to get into the business of the music.
How I end up in the business, like I say, in Athens, we had, where I'm from, my cousin them started a label. Like, they was like the Slim and Baby of the area.
Okay.
So they started a label, and my cousin, he like my big brother. He was like, Yacht was like, look, man, I got the group, Lowdown and Duddy was the name of the group. We had got distribution through Selecto Hits out of Memphis.
Yeah, I remember.
Way back. Yeah. So he was like, they didn't know shit about the music business. Hell, I didn't either. He just knew I had a lot of people in Atlanta. He was like, cuz, you know, everybody in the city, they done started doing music now. You need to manage the label. You can't manage the group because they had a manager, but you can manage the label. So I'm like, okay, cool. Duddy had this white boy he bring around that he was linking with. He ended up writing music, producing music, then making good music with that white boy. So turns out, I'm like, man, who is this? And Duddy like, man, that my boy Bubba. I'm telling you, he hard. He hard. I'm telling you, Chino, he hard. So I'm like, okay. He was like, we gotta run with Bubba. He got something going on. So I'm like, cool. So we started mobbing. Bubba ended up, of course, getting his deal. Bubba kept it real. We didn't know shit about the music business. So the songs we did, we ain't had no ASCAP or no BMI. We ain't know nothing about producer agreement, split sheet to get some writers. We ain't know nothing about nothing. All we know is Bubba done closed the deal. It's about to go up. And long story short, we ain't getting no motherfucking paper. We got fucked.
So what about Selecto Hits, though? Because I know them CDs was, what, $15, $20?
Yes, that shit was slow. Lowdown and Duddy sold a little bit, but it didn't catch. You know, it just didn't catch. So Bubba kept it real. He was paying Duddy out of his pocket. When he get a pull check or a mechanical check or something, he was keeping it real. He'll skin Duddy down the court. Duddy will throw me a few dollars. We keep it pushing on the road. Bubba was like, Timberland came and did a whole mixtape called Bubba and the Mudcats. So we had Attitude, which is a great writer and rapper.
He from Alabama, right?
Yeah, he from Alabama.
I remember Attitude.
Yep, you had Scram, Duddy, and it might have been one other artist. And they said if, you know, the project, if if Bubba next album would have done great, they was gonna give him a label deal for New South. But somewhere in there, shit got fucked up. New South didn't jump off. You had Bubba had gave me a position to be like vice president of New South, and I had to start learning the business. And at the same time, I got my own little artist that I want to develop. I had my little sis, which was already working, misbehaving. I had Jock. I had my cousin, Shouted Slick, which was Low Down from the group Low Down and Duddy. I was trying to get that situation put together. Then I had Straight Drop with my cousin, Nard and Mutt, Tori, all us were doing some shit Straight Drop. And then like I had my hands just in pots trying to learn. And my cousin Wingo from Jagged Edge, they had already did a deal. They were going. And I'm like, man, this shit real. Like, motherfucker Bubba got a deal, Wingo got a deal. These niggas getting money. So I'm like, shit, I need to see what's going on. Like, what was the part of the game I missed? Why Duddy didn't get paid? We didn't get situated off of Bubba shit. And Bubba was trying to make up for it and, do New South so niggas can get some paper. But New South didn't catch, so they left me out there. Now we got Straight Drop, got Guwap. Gucci is all of, we is Atlanta. We over the hood, D, all that like D like, man, you need to fuck with Gucci. You need to fuck with Gucci. I'm like, shit, let's see what we can do. So me and Gucci could never lock it in on the business of me and him locking in to do something together. But his partner and them had a label Straight Drop.
So this was before
Sign
Black Yourself.
Yeah, man. Gucci from the neighborhood.
So
all over Gresham Road.
So Black T came out on Straight Drop?
No.
Or that was Sign Yourself?
I think that was Sign Yourself.
So this before Sign Yourself?
Yeah, they before Sign Yourself.
Okay.
Before they say Gucci ran off with the Black T song. Right. I told them they should have been happy. Gucci blew that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Regardless if he went and said his song or what. Yeah. It was going. Yeah, this was before that. So if you look at Gucci's first mixtape, it said Straight Drop on it.
Right.
Yeah, that was his first mixtape. And I was just realizing niggas are getting paid now from this shit. Little John them, Sam and Bo them over there, they eating, they Deckners paint my cars. And I'm looking at Sam them and Bo them like, boy, these niggas on the run, they getting money. You start looking at DJ, Mr. DJ, the whole Dungeon family. I'm looking like, boy, these boys getting money.
DJ was playing the instruments, wasn't he?
Yeah, DJ producer, making beats.
I met DJ before.
Yeah, he's, Dave, we used to be down there at his house. I seen the DJ get this big ass house down here, where he live at. I'm like, man, this shit getting real. So my cousin like, bro, I'm telling you what we gotta do. We just gotta take this money and we're gonna go buy a whole bunch of beats. I'm like, beat for who? He like, boy, I'm gonna sign these boys out of Green County. I said, man, out of Green County? Let me hear them. I listened to them. They could rap, right? But it wasn't Atlanta. It wasn't, they could rap. They were more like, some New York lyrics and shit. And we going to buy beats. We Nitti. We took him a bag. Carl Mo. You
say Corey Mo?
Not Carl Mo.
Carl Mo.
Yeah, Carl Mo. Who else? Man. Speedy, Mr. DJ, like we just taking the money around.
I met Speedy before.
Yeah, we buying beats and we giving the beats to these niggas. And I'm like, look, bro, I need 2-3 of these beats to get a Gucci. Cause he was the one around then. I said, man, I need to see what we can do. They like, nah, man, we gonna see what these boys do. Then we can move on to something else. I'm like, bro, these niggas ain't gonna catch. These boys ain't got no motion. They ain't see what I was seeing. So at that point, I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do, man? What I'm gonna do? I gotta figure something out. I'm at Toe Jam on Bankhead. Nigga outside, he come out, we holler, boom, give me a CD, we chop it up. I'm like, normally I don't play nigga CD. I'm like, man, let me play this shit, see what it sound like. I'm driving, I put in nigga sound like Nelly, but not really like Nelly. The shit was riding. I was like, man, god damn, this nigga got a little flavor. Long story short, bumped into him again at the store. You know, I already been knowing. You know how you know nigga from around the city, but you ain't never really just locked with them. Fucked around, we locked in. I was like, bro, that goddamn CD, that shit jam, we need to talk. He like, man, let's do it. I was like, man, I'm gonna call you in a minute. I go pick him up. It was Jock. I go pick him up. He stayed out Garden Walk then. Pick him up, we go to Magic City. I'm in the Vert.
That's in Riverdale, right?
Yeah, in Riverdale. Yeah. I got the 72 Cutlass there in the Vert. We got the top down. We're going to Magic City. We're going to meet my partners. We go turn up that night. We don't talk about no business. We just go have a good time. From that day forward, we just locked. And it was like, he was like, man, you know, got a little sis, she rapping. She got this song. I hit that bitch with a bottle. Was the record, but it wasn't produced by Nitti yet. So I'm taking Jock to everybody, all the DJ that we don't want to spend, producer we don't spend all their money for the other group, I'm doubling back, taking Jock around all of them. So now that we're going around, it's like I'm trying to get music for him now. These niggas wasn't going for it, boy, they want another bag. So I said, I'll be damned, I'll give y'all niggas some more money. I went right to Guitar Center, and they played some Memorial Drive, bought my own studio. Put the shit in my basement, called Jock, said, boy, we got a whole studio. He come over there. We don't know how to work none of this shit. Man, we go there and stab. He had a CD. Back then, you had the computer at the towers.
Right.
We load the CD up. You could upload the beat in the Pro Tool. So we upload this beat in the Pro Tool. The beat was kind of whack, but that's all we had. It was a beat CD he got from somebody. So the man, when he hooked the shit up, told me the basic stuff, wrote down how to record on the Pro Tool. Because all the years I've been in the studio, I never watched no engineer record. That wasn't my shit. I go in there. I said, all right, man, go in the booth. I'm finna record you. We struggling. I'm figuring it out. He know a little bit because he been working over the year recording, but we piecing it together. We do our first song. That shit was 1-2 way back. Lame as a motherfucker. I looked at him, he looked at me. I said, boy, this ain't it. He said, boy, this ain't it. I said, we got to do something. So we fucked around. I had a partner at Decatur, Chino. I called Chino. I say, hey, Chino, man, I need a producer or something. I need somebody who can make some beats, man. I need some beats because I ain't giving these niggas no more money. I refuse to do that. Chino said, I got you. When I come over to finish building the booth, I'm gonna bring somebody to you. I said, okay. Bring him, let me check him out. So Chino come to the house. He bring this little guy over there. He a little about like me. He walk in, we go in the studio. I had this big ass Triton keyboard sitting on the rack. He walked by the keyboard. He play some shit like he was in church. I like, oh yeah, man, what's up? I need you. I ain't never heard him make a beat before. I don't know what he done did or nothing. He sit down. We kick it off. I'm like, so what's your name, bro? He like, Elvis. I said, Elvis? I said, where you from? He said, Memphis. Well, Mississippi outside of Memphis, but it's Memphis. I like, Elvis, you from Memphis?
You talking about Black Elvis?
Yeah, I like, nigga, that's a joke. He was like, nah. I said, so nigga, you the Black Elvis. He was like, if you want to call me that. So from that day forward, because, you know, he got green eyes already, I thought he was just kicking shit. Elvis came to the house that day, then never leave. So we got Elvis now. It was one of our little homies from E Point, Chris Flame. He, you know, coming up through the years, him and Jock and them, you know, around here you move when we used to dance and shit, like at skating rings, and, you know, so you know little cat. So him and Jock were cool. Me and Jock had did this song called, what was it? 1001 that we were pushing. And we go up to 1079 before 1079, 99.7, whatever it was, 97.5. So we go up to the radio station to get with our redhead. He called himself something else now, but we want to get the song played. We go in there, Chris Flame, a motherfucking intern. So we got somebody in here. We like, boy, what's up? He play us some beats. We listen like, God damn, me and Jock looking like, boy, Flame jamming. Nigga had some hard ass beats. We told Flame, hey man, this what we working on. We need you to come with us, be a producer. Boom, boom, boom. We working on my shit. Flame was with it. So I end up skinning Elvis down, skinning Flame down, and say, hey man, I started a label, Mastermind Music. Y'all the producers. Called my cousin, Shouted Slick, who used to be low down from the group. I said, boy, you one of the artists. So we started working on Jock and Slick. And Miss B, she was already light years ahead.
Right.
She was already recording.
She got to deal with JD, right?
Well, yeah.
Or something like that?
Jock ended up.
Or JD reproduced the beat or something?
Nah, Nitti, what it was, Nitti had done got that production deal with JD.
Okay.
Jock bumps into Nitti at ASCAP building. They up there with a meeting about Miss B. But Jock bump into Nitti, he slide her the bottle action song that another producer, Mac Rod, what his name, Mac? I can't remember his name, but he produced it. He give it to Nitti. You know, just putting him on game, what he working on. Nitti turn around, called Jock, like he fucking with it, you know. He fucking with it. I know Nitti mindset. Nitti finna redo this goddamn beat.
Because you dealt with Nitti before
you
met Jock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you dealt with Gucci before you met Jock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Nitti called, like, he fucking with it, he turned around and reproduced the song. Took the song to JD So Def and got a single deal. So now she got a single deal through So Def. I hit that bitch with a bottle. Long deal at Jive. JD ended up leaving Jive. I think that's when he took that position at Virgin. For all that money and left. And left her long deal was still over there at Jive.
So she was on the Young Fly and Flashy, I think. Was that it? It was like a compilation?
Yeah, because that's when we were running around. We was shot my boy Kadife. Kadife was doing promotion So Def. So we had a So Def van riding around, you know, he putting up the So Def posters, working his move in the clubs, working the DJ. And I'm right there with Kadife because that's my nigga. Like, we out here. And shit, that thing, you know, B couldn't move forward because she didn't have no follow. Like, Nitti didn't. It was a bad situation.
So what was that like? Is that like an inducement letter that the artist signed? And then when the label...
Well, she actually ended up, I think, like, the way it was, she signed on to Playmaker.
Okay.
And Playmaker furnished the single deal to So Def.
So Def was using her services?
But So Def was the production company that had to deal with Jive.
Okay.
Through Playmaker.
So she was just stuck in a bunch of paperwork.
Well, no, it wasn't that hard. If Nitti released her from the paperwork, all the rest of the shit gonna die. You know, then she got a better chance of getting relief from Jive because nobody's there. She don't have nobody over her account. She ain't got no relationship with Jive. So that kind of put a stall to that. Well, we thinking we finna, because Jock was B hype man. So we thinking that's how we finna be finna, this song gonna go. Then she gonna drop another one. You know, she had the remix. What's the girl name? Brooke Valentine got on it or something. And like, we ready. Like, be a real nigga. You know, she ain't no regular female rapper. B do shit to make some of these niggas have to sit back and say, that's how you treat your people.
This was like around the time BMF was around, right?
That's when it was.
Because I think Velvet Room was open.
It was starting to come to light about the whole BMF move.
Right.
Started taking a wave, you know, and all of a sudden you hear it's a group being formed, Boys in the Hood, they looking for members. And Block, of course, come to Nitti, want some beats. Nitti getting the beats. We like, shit, boy, this finna be on. Because you got to think, at the time we working B. So me and Nitti, like, we every day with it at this point. And we looking at it like, well, shit, Block got this motherfucking deal with Puff for these Boys in the Hood shit. Well, we finna kill them. You know, we finna do 3-4 songs on that album. That's gonna be this. We gonna go up.